Here you are looking to get more clients and you want to understand why do your clients buy or why do prospect buy so that you can actually close more deals. You might say, I hope that by now you have caught up with the first part of the series. I will link it up here if this is the first time you're stumbling on the series. But on this particular video, I am going to give you context around why people buy and why do prospect buy so that you can actually understand the mechanics of selling through content or selling through marketing, because this is really important if you ever are going to create a marketing system like we create for our clients or for ourselves with the content marketing ecosystem. And I'll link the video up here that walks you through what it is. And this series is to give you the backhand around how it actually works. But I also have a workshop that I have recorded. It's 50 minutes, but that workshop is gonna give you the blueprint on what it is to market and create pipeline with your marketing. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through why people buy, why people aren't buying from you, what could be the issues, so you could troubleshoot that, but also for you to understand the context when we speak about message and messaging, because it is important that you catch this, that you understand this, if your marketing has any chances of working for you. If this is your first time here, I am Tanya. I am a business growth architect and a marketing strategist. And I work with startups as well as small and medium enterprises to help them grow their revenue and get more clients using digital channels. And I hope that you are going to enjoy this video. So, quick note, if you love what I'm doing here, you're also going to love our newsletter. I'll leave the link below. We have newsletters, two weekly newsletters that we send every week for you to help you with your marketing operations, as well as on Saturday we have our best, which is a Saturday biz lesson. So we answer I personally answer a question around marketing that is reoccurring in my DMs or in my emails, usually my emails. And secondly, you might want to also check our publication, Business Crit magazine. I'll leave the link as well below. And that is where we also create a whole lot of value to give you as a business owner and an entrepreneur. So don't forget to like this video, share if you're listening to this, subscribe, leave a review, let us know, rate this podcast if you enjoy this. And throughout this video, if there's anything in this video that you feel like, okay, you are picking up what I am dropping, you are listening to the sermon, you are saying hallelujah, and you're like, girl, I need your assistance, the link to book a consultation with myself or my team will be in the description box, where we can take a look at your business and help you figure out what are the breaking points and what you could do to help your marketing endeavors so you can actually grow your revenue. On this note, I'll see you on the inside. This is Biz Talk with Tanya, brought to you by Wiz Digital Academy, a show for business athletes and online bosses who are ready to take up. Let's talk about 8 reasons why your offer isn't converting, because we cannot necessarily have a conversation around marketing, sales, revenue engineering, revenue acceleration, and not have this conversation around why your offer isn't converting. And more often than not, I think I have mentioned it already, either here or in the masterclass. If you don't know about the masterclass, the link will be in the description box. We have recorded a 50-minute workshop masterclass walking you through the elements of revenue acceleration. This is complimentary, and you can grab that right now. But yeah, essentially there are 8 reasons that I have found working across different industries, from consulting, tech, to everything. This is why most companies are battling to scale, are battling to grow, are battling to grow revenue, are battling to grow profit. Profit margins are too low. Most of these problems are usually around these, and I'm gonna walk you through these reasons because most often than not, like I have mentioned in the previous video, I'll link it up here as well, and or in the masterclass as well. I have mentioned it. More often than not, what I have found it is a problem of messaging market fit. You see, anything can work. Cold outreach works, marketing works, everything works. But essentially, when you don't have a messaging market fit, more often than not, it might look like, oh, you don't have product market fit, and there's no demand for the service or the product, whereas your messaging doesn't fit. So I'm gonna walk you through these different reasons. So why prospects aren't converting? The number one reason most of the time that prospects do not convert is lack of brand awareness. Prospect may not convert if they are not aware of your brand existence. There's insufficient marketing effort, limited online visibility, or ineffective targeting that can contribute to this challenge because what happens if there is no brand awareness? There are people in the market that are in the buyer cycle, but they do not know that you exist, right? They don't know that your company solves this problem that they have. So essentially they cannot come to you. So this is often a lack of visibility that is a problem. So that is where the top of the funnel, do people know your brand? Do people know you exist? Do they know what your product is, what your offer is, what it does for them? So this is usually at the top. And this often is what most often than not people try to fix, but sometimes it is not the problem. Another issue can be ineffective marketing channels. For example, if you are a B2B service provider, we can all agree that LinkedIn tends to be for you. Whereas if you are a B2C in the sense of service provision for maybe smaller businesses, Facebook and Instagram are often the platform for you. Some I see some people are having success with TikTok. I haven't tried TikTok, so I can't speak to it. But yeah, so if you choose the wrong marketing channel, then baby, it will not work. So choosing the wrong marketing channels will result in low conversion rates. You have to understand your target audience and their preferred channels. That is essential for effective outreach. So outreach here is even your marketing. Your marketing is a form of outreach, right? When I leave this video or this podcast episode, if you're listening to this, on this platform, I know that these are platforms that people subsequently come there with intent to learn about their problems and possibly how to fix their problems, right? So people come to YouTube, come to Spotify, to Apple Podcast to listen to these things because they want to fix these problems. So essentially, this is what I deal with. So by doing this, I know that this is the right channel for me, and then I put this out there. Same thing. So you need to evaluate what are the marketing channels that you are choosing to put your efforts into. Number three, it's insufficient information. If prospects cannot find the information they need during the consideration stage, and this is often when they know that, okay, I have a problem, I'm looking for a solution provider, and I came across with digital, oh, they could have a solution for me, like, but let me check, like, let me do some research because nowadays most people don't reach out to you without doing research. Let me go on their website and check what they have to offer. So if they don't have that on your website, you don't have it. On your social media, you don't have those information. They are unlikely to convert. You have a duty. This is why I've shared before that content is not a popularity contest. It serves a purpose in your business, and this is why you create comprehensive content. that facilitate easy access to the product details that are essential for convincing prospects to move forward, right? So this is the purpose of your content. This is the purpose of your marketing. Because at the same time, when it is tackling this issue of brand awareness, it has to tackle this where there are people at the stage of the buyer cycle. Another problem is lack of trust and credibility. You might be offering everything that they need. They might believe that, okay, you got a solution for them. But if you don't have trust and credibility, they don't believe that you can do it, then they won't convert, because building trust is crucial to conversion. The truth is, and I have found this to be extremely true, is that both prospects will hesitate to convert if they perceive your brand as unreliable or lacking credibility. So if they feel that you just popped out of nowhere, like it's happening all over the place, and they can't really assess your credibility, then they will not trust you enough to do business with you. So how you fix this often is by leveraging social proof such as customer reviews, testimonials, success stories, case studies, as well as speaking. Speaking is incredibly important, and you don't necessarily have to go speak at a conference. Speaking on podcast interviews, get yourself interviewed and share that on your own social media. It is baffling to me how some people will get on podcast episodes and not share on their platform. I don't know, they want to be celebrities. But the biggest leverage that you have outside of getting in front of somebody else's audience is that when you share that podcast episode within people with your own audience, because most people are lurkers, most buyers are lurkers, they aren't commenting, they aren't doing anything, but they are looking at everything that you're doing. When you share those podcast episodes, you're like, okay, there's an endorsement from somebody else who is an expert, who has this platform, that invited me, that believe I am an expert and a person of authority in this matter, to interview me. So that gives you the same credibility as if you appeared on TV. This is why most of our clients, one of the things that we do in the early days of starting to work with them is get them on podcast interviews, because what happens when somebody finds out about you, what do they do? They go on Google. Now, what you don't know is that when somebody Googles you and you've been on podcast interviews, those podcasts, because they are published on platforms such as Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all the jazz, it has high domain authority. So when they Google your name, those things pop up. So the more that they see, the more it lends you credibility. Whereas if they go on Google to search for you and they see nothing, then there is no credibility. They can't build trust, because what happens is they can get there, they see that you have a couple of podcast episodes where you've spoken about different things, and when they listen to it, if it is relevant to how you market yourself, this is why you don't just speak about everything. When you market yourself and you get yourself on those platforms and they listen, they're like, okay, this is truly a person of authority and credibility, I can trust them. Unfortunately, I do it, you do it probably if you admit it, and a lot of other people do it. Then the next one is inaccurate targeting. This is often the problem also. You have a misaligned demographic and incorrect persona identification, and that can lead to low conversion rates. What do I mean by that? So maybe you offer, and this is often also in your messaging, this comes through your messaging, which we touch on next. You offer a service, and I'll give the example of a life coach, for example. And you're trying to offer life coaching services to people that are at the lowest in survival mode, for example. Let me give you an example. You want to be a career coach. You decided that you want to be a career coach, and you're going to have.
We will be back shortly with your episode. Right now, let's hear a quick word from today's episode sponsor.
Are you looking for a simple way to start making sales? Then you'll want to check out our coaching program, Easy Sales Blueprint. Finally, an easy way to sell your program or service. Discover the simple steps to creating a lucrative coaching or consulting business. The Easy Sales Blueprint gives you a step-by-step method to easily make more sales without spending all day on social media, cold outreach, and hitting the door to try a good old-fashioned door-to-door sales system. Apply today by heading to tiny.cc/get-more-sales to find out how we can help you achieve online sales success. Are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Do you dream of financial freedom? Are you tired of the rat race and would like more time with your loved one and friends, making memories that will last you a lifetime? You may want to download Building a 20 Million Portfolio, How I Created Financial Freedom by Aurelian Amaka, a successful entrepreneur, founder of System IU, and author. So why not give it a try? Download Aurelian's book now and start building your own path to financial freedom by heading to tiny.cc/freedomb. Our people with their careers. Now, you are choosing to, instead of maybe going for the people that are really trying to grow their career. They're at a stage, maybe they're trying to get to the next level of their career. They are VPs, they're trying to become C-suite executives. You go and offer career coaching maybe to people that are unemployed on how to get jobs. Now, it's a great service, don't get me wrong. You can do it if you want to do it for free. But at that stage, the people are in survival mode. They are looking to spend money. They are trying to keep money and preserve as much resources because they don't know what is happening tomorrow. So you offering services to them, though they appreciate it, they cannot pay you. So this is a classic example of inaccurate targeting. You are targeting the wrong segment of the market. I hope that makes sense. And then you have ineffective messaging. Sometimes you have the right audience, you chose the right audience. However, your messaging is fluff and it's not really speaking to them, it's not relevant. So that limits conversions. Market messaging fit is essential for conveying the right message to your target audience. So you need to be able to convey the right message. The reason why you probably watching this is because the title that I will use for this is something of interest, is relevant to you. So if it's relevant to you because I'm talking about revenue acceleration, how to get more clients and get more money into your business, it's most probably the case that you are a business owner. So at this stage, I've done a great job with my messaging targeting and it's speaking to the right audience. Then the final two, we have weak value proposition. This is often the case when it's the you are creating offers. So what I have often seen, especially let's say in the consulting space, you are talking about, okay, you get so much out or so much of my time to help you gain confidence. Coaching, consulting, they do this all the time. Whereas your time is really not that valuable to anybody. The most important person to everyone on earth is themselves. So when you're talking about your time, there's no value in that for them. So you have a weak value proposition. So creating a compelling value proposition is crucial to differentiating your brand from the competitive and enticing prospect to convert. So I don't know what it is like in the rest of the world, but I have in South Africa, for example, there are a number of YouTube channels, bigger YouTube channels that say, okay, pay me to give you a shout out on my channel so you can gain subscribers. For somebody like me, it has no value. It is a very weak value proposition because I do not know if your audience is my own because you have a mass audience. However, if the proposition was phrased differently, and let's say, for example, you say, let me create an ad for you, and I guarantee you that I will speak directly to business owners in my target audience that will subscribe to your channel, and I will set up a time for us to meet. And instead of charging me 300 Rand, you're charging me 3,000 Rand. And I will get all those people in this room to meet with you so that they can not only subscribe to your channel, but get to know you and possibly convert into clients. Now that becomes a better value proposition for me because I can put an ROI on that. You get me? And then the final one is the lack of differentiation. Oh God. The Me Too marketing, Me Too branding, copy and paste from each other. I've seen it all over the world. I've worked primarily with companies in the US, and I've worked with companies in Africa, and I've worked with companies in Europe. Lack of differentiation is a real problem, right? It's a real problem. If your brand fails to highlight its unique selling point, prospects will struggle to see why they choose your product or service over an alternative. And that is when people come to you, but so and so is doing the same thing at 500 less than you. Can you lower your price to do that? Then I'm able to do it with you. So if you don't have differentiation, baby, you have a real problem. So this is what I wanted to cover in this particular video. So next, let us cover how clients buy. Because the reality is you have to understand how clients buy so that you are able to put this into your marketing. So essentially, this is also known as the buyer cycle, which is the purchasing process, also known as the customer journey, whichever you want to call it, right? And what it is essentially, it's a series of steps that a person goes through when making a purchase. So why this is important, why I'm hammering on this episode of the revenue acceleration, the part two, is that understanding the buyer cycle is crucial for you as a business owner or leader, as it provides valuable insights into the customer's purchasing behavior, and it will enable you to tailor your marketing and sales strategies accordingly. So I've divided them into five series of steps, which is usually the first step is usually awareness. This is where they recognize that they have a problem. They become problem aware. And this is usually where the need recognition happens, where your buyer realizes that they have a need or desire for a product because they have a problem, right? And this can be triggered by various factors. This could be personal need, this could be external influences, and it could also be your marketing efforts. Some people might be experiencing a problem and they don't know that it is a problem. And through your marketing efforts, they learn that it is a problem and that they should seek a solution. So this is another stage, another form of marketing. This is, remember when we spoke about the awareness stage in your marketing, and you have when you have limited visibility. This is at the stage when you have visibility, you create visibility, and you aim to create awareness. This at the stage you creating awareness, you also creating awareness in them. So there could already be a way that they have a problem but they don't really know what they should do about it, and then your marketing efforts helps solidify that in their brain. So then the next step is where they want to gain understanding. So here they are at the information search stage. They're really trying to understand what's the problem. Once the need has been identified, what they start to do is gather information to evaluate what are the available options, what is the problem, why is that happening, right? So this is usually when a lot of people also lose the plot because they're not speaking to these people, because these people are entering the buy they are in the buying cycle, and they are wanting to become solution away. So at this stage, they want to understand the solutions that could be available to them. So what they will do, they'll be looking for information from various sources, online research, recommendations, friends, family, product reviews, advertising. So at this stage, what people do, they get on YouTube, they get on Spotify and search with intent. Do you understand? This is where you have intent data. So if you do not know what are the intent data, you cannot show up because you don't understand what are they searching for. This is why you should always do market research. This is why I hammer on that end right now, even in a business, before we take you on as a consulting client, especially if you're a bigger business and you want us to work with you. And when most people come, they're like, we want you to generate demand. Before we even generate demand, we do an R&D, brand audit and research and development for the first few weeks where we really hammer on trying to figure out all this information because this will feed the marketing. Because if we don't understand where they how what is the behavior at the understanding stage where they are searching for information, anything else we do is a loss. We will not win and we will have lower conversions. So at this point, the next stage is interest, where they realize, okay, I have interest in this. And at this stage, what they are trying to do is compare different options based on specific criteria such as price, quality, features, brand reputation, personal preference, all these things, so that they can assess the alternatives and drawbacks so they actually make an informed decision. So at the interest stage, you might get they might actually be like, okay, I want to have a conversation, or they might just be going through it in the dark, right? They are just going through it in the dark, but how you can influence a personal preference is where you've built trust and respect. So here, for you to build trust and respect, what we do, for example, for our client, we help them put up events. We create opportunities for conversations for them to build that trust, build that affinity for the brand, and actually develop that respect for them as an authority so that you can influence their personal preference. Because at this stage, when somebody, let's say we're putting together an event, when they're raising their hands for this, that means they have interest, right? Because this is a pain that they have, they want to understand it, and they are at the stage where they are trying to find a solution. So they are at the evaluation stage. So here we are focusing on capturing the interest and also building the trust and respect. And how we do it is, we have different methodologies for different clients, because we work with some clients like him for enterprise clients, or some that that choose SMB clients. But essentially at this stage, this is what we focus on. And eventually we get to a stage where they have to make a purchasing decisions, and this is after the evaluating stages. They decide on a product or service to purchase. So at this stage, what they usually happens is they are able and ready. So other factors within the business must align. Able could be budget and resources, internal resources to allocate. If you are working along with the team, they have to prep and make the team available to do that. If you're a coach, for example, they have to ensure that there is availability in space within the business to allow for you to operate, and they need to get ready for that. And usually at that stage they are ready. And some of the factors that that will be influencing the purchasing decision is perceived fit with their needs and preferences. But all other factors are pricing, value for money, brand loyalty. Because if you've built trust and respect, there has a level of brand affinity and loyalty to you. And eventually the purchase happen and the transaction happen, and they pay, and you guys now start a customer relationship where you now have to nurture the customer relationship. So this is the second point. If any of the things that I have said here, you're like, okay, Tanya, I get it. Okay, we may be having those issues with prospect on converting. I can identify with that. And maybe looking at what you've just shared through this chart is that we are dropping the ball at capturing understanding, capturing interest. Maybe we're not building enough awareness and you want to learn how you can do that for your business. What I will ask you to do is check the description box. You will see a link to book a consultation with myself and my team. It's a clarity session where we just aim to understand your vision, identify with the problem, and tell you exactly what how that could be solved. And if there is alignment, we will invite you to take a step further and possibly work together. But we are not a hard sales team. We really are there to serve you. And usually people walk away from these consultations, even the free ones, with clarity and next steps that they really feel that they've gained something. And because we believe that time is very valuable, so it's the most valuable resource, so we respect your time. So check that out. And if you want to understand a lot more about what I'm speaking about here, you need to check the masterclass, the revenue acceleration masterclass. Also sign up for my newsletter, the Saturday Biz Lessons newsletter. We only send it once a week. We do not um, resend them, so you miss an edition, you miss it. And every Saturday, I answer a repetitive questions with strategy and insight on how to approach solving these problems in your business. So it's people enjoy it. There have been editions where people are like, "Girl, you just solved my problem here." So you might want to join that. The link will be down there. And also, we have a community for entrepreneurs that we are building, entrepreneurs like yourself who are freelancers, who are looking for an environment where they can get together, have discussions that have to do with what we are going through as business owners. And we bring workshops, we create resources, we put them there. And you also have a newsletter, which is of the Saturday business lessons, but in a whole lot of depth. These are in a lot more depth with strategies, deployment strategies, how to do it in your business. And it's just amazing. Because if you think you love the start of this business lessons, that one is in a lot more that strategy breakdown and how to implement it in your business. So on this note, look out for part three, which will drop the following next week, after the week after this one, so that we I finalize this entire thing for you, so that you actually understand revenue acceleration and possibly can troubleshoot your business with this insight. On this note, see you in the next one.